Hey there, men. Happy Truck Talk Thursday to you. Mike Yarbrough here, coming at you from Wolf and Iron, from the Wolf and Iron truck, I suppose, from my truck here on Truck Talk Thursday. Hope you're having a good Thursday, fellas. I'm just finishing up my day, and I had some thoughts here I wanted to share with you. But before I jump into that, I just want to say welcome to anybody who's listening to the podcast for the first time. Well, I guess if you're listening to the podcast for the second or the third or the 20th time, welcome back. But in any case, welcome to you. Here on the Wolf and Iron podcast, I like to talk about what it means to be a man. Some of you guys know my story. Didn't really have a solid father figure growing up, but I did have a couple of guys in my life over the years who poured into me. My grandfather, different peers, men who decided to just take some time out of their life and mentor me a little bit. And over time, I got a little bit of manliness of my own, got my own family, and started to figure some things out. And I really had a desire to share that with you guys. And so that's what this podcast is all about. And here on Truck Talk Thursday, I just kind of talk to you guys off the cuff about whatever's on my mind, something related to life as a man. Today I want to talk about going beyond behavior. I'm still on a New Year's kick here because it's January the 8th as I'm recording this actually. So by the time you get it, it'll be February, March, something like that. But in any case, I'm still on my New Year's kick, and I'm seeing a lot of things about what people want to do to make changes in their lives, to achieve the goals that they want to achieve, to lose weight, put on muscle, to get a different job, to take their business to the next level, whatever the case is. And it's a lot of behavior modification. Now, that's not necessarily bad, but one of the things that I noticed that people in general, just across the board, don't do very well, and I wasn't always good at this either, is really digging in deep with the motivations behind habits and the motivations behind behaviors. Most people, if you sit them down and you have a conversation with them and you ask them, what's going on in your life? What's happening? They will talk about circumstances. They'll talk about situations. They'll talk about behaviors of their wife or of their kids or of themselves that they want to see changed. And when you ask them what they want to do to make things different, they'll talk about changing behaviors in order to change whatever the issues are. And when it comes to ourselves, this is particularly problematic because most of the time we don't do things because of simple behaviors. Behavior is the result of some kind of root thing, some root system, some root purpose behind our behavior. And so I thought I would just give you guys a couple of pointers on this. I don't know how long this one will go today. It might be pretty short. But I wanted to just give you some pointers. And you can use this with your kids. You can use this with your wife. Your wife will love this if she's a talker. If she's one who wants you to really dig in and ask questions and stuff like that, these are going to be great. But it's a way to kind of help dig in to know why somebody else is doing something, why you in particular are doing what you're doing. There's probably a behavior that you do and you want to change. Maybe you yelled at your kids again. Maybe there's an opportunity for advancement at work, and you're kind of questioning, should I go for it? Should I not? Am I really the person for the job? Maybe I'm not cut out for that. You got this internal dialogue that's self-defeating, and it's not helpful. It could be any number of things, guys. It could be an addiction that you have, cigarettes, porn, alcohol, I don't know, Bird Box. I don't know if that's an addictive thing now. Apparently, at the time of this recording, everybody's talking about it. I still haven't seen it. Anyhow, binge watching Netflix shows. Whatever your thing is that you're trying to overcome, people tend to look at the behaviors and they say, well, I just need to change the behavior. I need to change the behavior. Sometimes that's effective. And yes, sometimes you do. You just got to change the thing that you're doing, right? If you don't want to be an alcoholic, you probably should stop drinking. That would be the first step. But there's a deeper piece to this that you really need to uncover. And it just takes a couple of questions. It takes a little bit of skill and a willingness to kind of dig in. So here are some things that you can ask yourself. Or, like I said, you can ask your kids, you can ask your wife. Maybe something along the lines of this. What made me come to that conclusion? It's a good question to ask. How did I reach this conclusion? Another one could be, when did I start thinking this way? What's my earliest memory that I have of thinking the way I think? Was there a time when I wasn't so, however I am now? So, for example, maybe someone's shy, and perhaps there's a time in their life when they weren't that way. Maybe it's before their parents got divorced. Something obvious like that, that once you think about it, you're like, oh my gosh, this is it. Another question that's good to ask is, what part of my body is feeling, what am I feeling in different parts of my body, head to toe kind of thing? In my feet, my legs, my stomach, particularly in my chest area, around my heart, in my throat, at the base of my neck, in my arms. What do I want to do? What does my body want to do when I think of X, or when I feel X, or when I say this or that? Why am I bringing this up? Well, this is actually a really good tool here, guys, because a lot of times it's the body has a certain reaction to words that we say, to the way that we think, and that can oftentimes help us to put words to an emotion that we didn't know was there before. So if you thinking about going for that job, I mentioned before, the promotion, but you don't think you're cut out for it, think about what it would be like to be in that job, to do that role, to be the manager or the vice president or whatever it is. And what's happening there, head to toe? Ask yourself that question. Well, I get a little butterflies here in my stomach, or my throat starts to close up, right? You guys need to start diagnosing yourself and say, why am I feeling this way? Oh, the body's giving me a sensory feedback here that's telling me that I feel something. What would be a good way of describing that if I were to associate a feeling to it? Butterflies would be nervousness, or a throat closing up would be, I don't feel like I'm empowered to speak, right? That's digging in. And then you got to chase that sucker down. You got to say, okay, where does that come from? Why do I feel like that? Is there a time in my life when I can remember kind of carrying that? Or when I got challenged and I decided to give in to that particular thought or that particular emotion? Simply asking why a couple of times, 3, maybe 5 times. Why do I feel this way? Why am I thinking that? Where did that come from? That's not a why question, but you get what I'm saying. That's digging in. And what you want to do is when you're asking these questions, guys, you want to identify things that are different than anger or frustration or happy or sad, right? You really want to start identifying feelings on a broader scale. And these things are going to help you really kind of dig into why you think the way you think, why you feel the way you feel. And then just begin taking that back a little bit. Where did that come from? Who told me that? Is there anybody that I'm modeling my behavior after? My mom, my dad, my uncle, teachers, people on TV? That's digging in, guys. That's what it looks like. And when you begin to do that, then you can say, oh, the behavior is a result of this learned belief. Or the behavior is just a result of some deeper woundedness, or something that I'm simply believing in that's not true. So hopefully that's helpful, guys. Ask questions. Don't stay on the surface. It's kind of akin to people who just have the "How's the weather, Joe?" kind of conversations. That's not helpful. You guys want to dig in, and you can practice this, like I said, with your wife. You practice this with your kids, and especially with yourself. You can even practice it with your buddies. When Joe's asking how's the weather, hey Joe, why does the weather matter so much to you? What are you going to be doing this weekend? Why is that important to you? Right? That's digging in, asking the why questions, guys. That'll get you there. So hopefully that's helpful. Short one today, fellas, but I appreciate you. Listen, these would be great questions to throw out to anybody in our Facebook group. We've got a fantastic group of men over at the Wolf and Iron community, and you can get there by going to wolfandiron.com/the-group. That's our free Facebook group. And guys, we don't let everybody in. We actually keep out more fellows than we let in, simply to keep the caliber of men and the caliber of conversations high. And we're doing a great job. Thousands of men over there who are willing to help you out with whatever you got going on. So I look forward to seeing you over there. Look forward to continuing the conversation. Look forward to digging in there with you and going beyond our behaviors. Talk to you later.